Hi all, it's Mike with Mastercraft Construction. I know most of you all know me from my build videos, but one thing you probably don't know is I've been a real estate agent and broker for 20 years now. What I'm going to do today for you is I'm going to talk about the 6 must-knows before you buy land to build your dream house, so that you don't get yourself stuck in that spot where you miss something and it costs you thousands of dollars, or even worse, you can't even build on your land. Let's do it. Okay guys, number 1, zoning. Can I even build what I want to build on this piece of land? Now you ask, how do I find that out? You're gonna go to your local building department and they should be able to guide you in the right direction, send you a link to the building codes. And you can get your zoning from your property appraiser. You can get the zoning code from the property appraiser site if you just look up the address, or what's called the property card. And let's say it's residential 1 mobile home, or so it's a common zoning that you might see. Sometimes they allow for single family, and sometimes it's just mobile. But in any case, if you take that code and you punch it in on the link that the building department sends you, or they may just send you a PDF if it's a small county, you should be able to see or read what you can build, the size of it, things like that. The second thing is your deed restrictions that may have been filed by the original builder of the whole plot, or there may be deed restrictions with an HOA. So you gotta look at that stuff on top of the zoning itself to make sure that you can build what you want to build. Just because you can build a single family house there doesn't mean you can have an outbuilding. It may limit the size of your outbuilding, okay? So you've got to get that stuff down and know where to get it and how to read it before you go ahead and put in that offer. All right? All right, friends, the second thing you're going to want to know, are you in a flood zone? And I find the easiest way to find that out is to go to the FEMA Flood Map. And I will put a link down in the description for you, and you can just punch in the address there. If you don't have an address yet, you might have to figure out how to use the map on there and locate the actual parcel. But if you just punch in the address, it will show you, and it's pretty self-explanatory on there. It has the flood zones, and you might have to look up what those flood zones mean. They just went through restructuring at FEMA not long ago. So, what used to be AE is no longer AE. So, make sure you understand that. And the reason you want to know that is because it's not that you can't build in a flood zone, because lots of times you can, but you may have to bring in a ton of fill to build your house way up, and that could end up costing you $20,000. Fill is $250 to $350 just a load these days, and you want to know that. And the second thing with a flood is, if it's low or in a flood zone, they're probably gonna, if you have a mortgage, they're probably gonna make you get flood insurance, which is not cheap these days. So again, all this goes into your underwriting and can throw you out of the game for building a house. So second thing is flood zone. Know it. All right, friends. Number 3, utilities. Am I going to require a well to get my water, or is there access to public water out on the street where I can tap into? If there's not access out on the street, sometimes you could bring it in from whatever distance it is away if it's reasonable, but very, very expensive. So lots of times you're just going to end up drilling a well, and then the good news is you don't have a water bill either. But some people have a bone to pick with well water, and I get that. So you got to know about your water. You got to know about your sewer. You might have to put in a septic tank. Some people have a bone to pick with septic tanks. Or is there public sewer available? In lots of rural places, it's just not even an option. So we got to know that, because we have to work in those costs. They're going to be over double if there's public water and sewer available. And then your electric. Unless you're really rural, you're probably going to have some electric somewhere nearby. But if you don't, look out, because it could cost you major cash to bring the electric into your property. All right, so we got to know about the utilities. All right, friends. 3, 4. Number 4, you have to know about the soil. So you're going to have a soil and a compaction test. That's going to come into play if there were some kind of contaminants or business that was, dispersing contaminants onto the land. We find this in commercial a lot with gas stations. If there's a gas station on a property and, there was a lot of bad things going into the soil, you have to do remediation and it costs a fortune. But in the residential side, maybe you want to grow some vegetables or whatever. Sometimes that soil is just no good. And so we got to know about the soil. And we also have to know about the soil because we have to know what the compaction is like and that sort of thing. So, you're going to have a compaction test. And then if you are interested in growing things and stuff like that, you should probably have some kind of environmental test done as well. All right. So know what's going on with the soil. All right, friends. Number 5, impact fees. Okay. A lot of people don't realize that you have to pay impact fees. Really, and what that means is the county or the city is going to charge you big fees because you're going to impact that community in some way or another, whether it's schools, roads, utilities, things like that. And, I've seen them $30,000, $15,000, $45,000 and up. So, again, this stuff, you don't want to be a big surprise and boom, now you're out of budget and you can't even do your house. So, check your impact fees with the city or the county, whatever the jurisdiction is where you're going to build. Make sure you know what those are. All right, guys, and number 6, use a professional to help you. It doesn't cost you anything in most cases. The seller usually pays your representative. Get yourself a realtor that understands building, or who maybe has some experience. I know there's not a lot of them out there, but there is other realtors like myself who do some building that understand this stuff. If you don't want to fool with this, in the description is going to be my contact information. Give us a call. It doesn't matter where you're at in the United States. If you're not in Central Florida, we'll go ahead and we'll find you. We will do the interviewing process and we'll find you a realtor that knows what they're doing, that can work with you in your area to find this land, okay? You can't just go out there and do things by yourself, guys, especially when, again, it really doesn't cost you anything to have a representative. I mean, you can, but the likelihood of you making some kind of mistake, or you run into a really savvy seller, or they're gonna whack you. You're not gonna understand what's going on in the contract. Just little nuances, technicalities, they can get you. All right, so that's gonna be number 6, use a professional. I know I'm gonna have some comments about some other stuff. Yeah, there is some other stuff, but I think these are the major things you gotta find out. I'm gonna close by saying this, and this could be the most important part of your whole transaction. Some of you are probably asking yourself, wow, I'm in a hot market. How can I possibly do all this research, when I don't have the property locked up and that sort of thing? Well, the thing is, you can lock it up. You can go ahead and lock it up, make your offer, but you have to give yourself a due diligence period. It's in every contract. Inspection, sometimes it's called due diligence period, sometimes it's called. Give yourself 30 days to do all this stuff. And if you don't like the way the grass grows at the end of the day, you can cancel, okay? So work in that due diligence period and do all that while you have the property locked up. And I think you'll find we'll end up making a good decision in the long run. All right, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, or these tips really help you out in the future. Again, let us help you. My information's in the bottom. And certainly, if you're thinking about building around the Tampa area, we would love to interview for your business. We're custom home builders. And thanks so much. Talk to you all soon.